Hello, everybody, and welcome to my live stream. I'm coming to you from my library here in my house, and it's Canadian Thanksgiving today. So, happy Thanksgiving to all you Canadians, and also to everybody else around the world. Even if you're not Canadian, you can still have a happy Thanksgiving. It is great to be here tonight. We're going to unbox a few different epic collections here, and let's just wait for a couple more people to join the stream. While we're waiting, I was wondering if you all heard the news about that I shared earlier this week. Let me see if I can find it here. It's the cover to Ultimate Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume One, and this is Ultimate Spider-Man Ultimate Epic Collection. As you can see, how does it up here in the top? It says Marvel Ultimate Epic Collection, and I think that's the kind of the branding that they're hoping to do with these new Epic collections. Here is the full page, as you can see, the front and back cover, and you can see that the spine is about the same. If you and the back cover has a little bit of a different layout, but it still has the Epic logo on the back there. Still has the volume number, still has the years that this was published, 2000 and 2001, still has the content listings. It's just going for a different look than usual. And I put together this composite image if you want to see what the other Epic collections look like stacked alongside this one. So, of course, it's going to stand out because it's bright red compared to the black Epic collections of all the rest of them. But as you can see, the logo at the top, because they're squeezing in Ultimate Epic Collection, that has to be stacked a little bit differently because it just doesn't fit where the rest of the words would go. But everything else lines up, so it's consistent in that sense. It's just a different color. So, will you be getting the Ultimate Spider-Man Ultimate Epic Collections? Let's turn off this picture here. Nary Bricks asks, "When are you getting your DC Finest books?" Well, I'm not getting them in advance because I don't have the same sort of uh, relationship with DC that I do with Marvel. So I will be getting them with all of the rest of you on release day. I'll be curious if each Ultimate line will have a different color or if they are all going to be red. I'm guessing that they'll probably all be a different color, but I guess I don't know that. We'll find out uh, next month. Because so this month the Ultimate Spider-Man book is solicited. Next month the Ultimate X-Men book will be solicited, so we will figure that out. Who else is here? James is here. Nice to see you, James, and also Jason. Okay, well, let's see here. I also have um, these creator cards. I showed the first 10 of them in the last live stream. Do you want to see who the next 10 are? The next 10. So I showed 1 through 10. This is card number 11, John Buscema. John Buscema is right-handed, just in case you want to know. Dan Brereton, he did, let's see, Dan was discovered by Eclipse Comics. He did Merchants of Death, which I haven't read. I'd like to read that one, and Black Terror, and a continuation of the series ESPers at DC. Psycho at DC. I mean, uh, Rick Geary, who did this Treasury of Victorian Murders. I love that series. Really good stuff. Rick Geary is an excellent storyteller. Jim Starlin, look at that guy. Of course, you know who Jim Starlin is. I hope if you're watching this live stream, you know who Jim Starlin is. Joe Simon, creator of Captain America, along with Jack Kirby. John Romita, of course. I don't have to explain who John Romita is. I hope that's his senior, not junior, by the way. Kate Worley, who did a comic called Omaha the Cat Dancer, kind of a 18 plus comic, and along with Reed Waller, those two go together for Omaha the Cat Dancer. He was the writer, she was the artist. And then Howard Cruz, who did a book called Stuck Baby Buggy. I think that's what it's called. I have it on my shelf here. What is it called? Yeah, Stuck Baby Buggy. Where did it go? I'll have to find it later. I'm not sure. I think I moved it to a different shelf. And then last but not least for today, Eddie Campbell, who's at this time he hadn't. Oh yeah, he had done From Hell by this point. But yeah, From Hell is his book that I'm sure you all know. Anyway, those are cards numbers 11 through 20 for this card set of 120 comic book creators from the early 90s. Okay, I know why you're all here. You want to see what's inside the box. When's the release date for Spidey? Wheelchair Man wants to know. Ultimate Spider-Man is coming out in March. I don't know. There's probably a release date, but I don't know when that's going to be. It's going to be late March. But yeah, that's it. Uh, Stuck rubber baby. That's what I. What did I say? Rubber baby buggy bumper. That's what I said, right? Stuck rubber baby. Yeah, I read that book several years ago, and it was really really great. Howard Cruz has passed away by this point. What's in the box? Yes, you want to know what's in the box. Thanks for helping me, everybody. I couldn't remember the title of that book. I've got two boxes to show you today. Here's one of them. Let's open it up and see what's inside. This one feels heavy, so I think there might be two books in here. Yep, two books. The first one is Star Wars Droids and Ewoks. This is important because it is the very last Star Wars epic collection. This one's called The Original Marvel Years Droids and Ewoks. So they're not calling it The Original Marvel Years Volume 7 because technically it's not a continuation of the Marvel Years series. It's its own thing, its own continuity. These comics are based on the two 80s animated series, Ewoks and Droids. They had a comic book series that went along with it, with Star under the label Star Comics. So this is what. Let me see here. Ewoks 1 to 14 plus annual 1989 and Droids 1 to 8. Those are the both of the complete series of both of those respective titles. They didn't last very long. Not many Star comics did last very long. Only a couple, like Alf lasted 50 issues, and Heathcliff went on for a very long time, but all the rest of them didn't last very long at all. Okay, take a little bit of look inside here. It's very colorful. It's written for a much younger demographic. Dave Manak is the writer, with Warren Kremer doing the art, and both of those people did a lot of work with the all ages comics for Marvel at the time. Personally, I really like Star Comics. I think they're a lot of fun. It's an imprint that, you know, um, I was watching a lot of these cartoons when they were coming out, and so it meant a lot to have actual comic book adaptations as well, because those are the things you could revisit in the day. Back then, you didn't necessarily have a VCR that you could play. That you could record the shows and watch them over again. So if you had the comics, those were the ways that you would revisit all of these. Um, okay, let's see here. Ewoks. There is one Droids and Ewoks crossover, and I'm not sure if that's getting into it right now. Oh yeah, so they did put those in order. So, oh no, okay, hold on. I got to go back to the beginning, the table of contents. Let's see how they order these. Ewoks 1 through 9, then Droids 1 through 4, then Ewoks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, then Droids 5. I think this must be the crossover, Ewoks 14 and Droids 5. And then 6, 7, and 8 were a retelling of A New Hope from the droid's perspective. And then we have the annual at the very end. So they don't print them all one at a time. That's an interesting way. Did the omnibus print them in this order? I'd be interested to know. So let's see what the some of the droids issues. Uh, some of the droids' work is John Romita, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yes, John Romita. John Romita Sr. drawing funny kids cartoons. There you go. Oh, I like this comment. I had an audio tape. I had to audio tape episodes of Ewoks by setting a tape recorder next to the TV speaker before I got a VCR. That's great. Yeah, the stuff that people did in order to record their shows back in the day, it wasn't as easy to be able to rewatch things. I'm really enjoying the epics. I'm already at number 150 and a new haul on the way. Question: when are the new announcements? When are the new announcements? I am not sure actually. I think that they might be coming within the next couple of months, but I am not positive. I'll have to check with Omar. He keeps a little closer eye on the schedule than I do on that one. Kind of amazing. This completes the classic Star Wars era pre-Disney. It does. All of the old Marvel comics now are in Epic Collections. All of the Dark Horse Star Wars are now in Epic Collections. It is all complete. It is the last one of the original Star Wars Marvel epics. Uh, this is the last one that's coming out, and this one is out. Let me just double check the date on this. November 12th. This one's coming November 12th, and I believe. Let me just check the page count here. Um, 500. I can't remember. This one was. I can't remember if this one was going to be one of the largest epic collections. It's pretty fat. I think it's over 525 pages, which gets up there. Not quite as big as the Dark Avengers volume, but let's see here. You want to see some of the extras? See what some of the extras are in here. Ewoks Annual, I think, is a UK annual. It's not one that was published in North America because it doesn't follow the same sort of um, format as an American annual. But these text stories are something that the UK annuals would have. Fun and games. You can mark up your epic collections, people, by doing some of these puzzles in here. In fact, no comics in here. It looks like just text stories. That's interesting. That's the whole annual. Yeah, definitely a UK thing. And then a Marvel Age advertisement and some extra covers, bonus pencils, promotional image, and then an advertisement for Star Wars Modern Era Epics. And what's at the front here? Just a regular table of contents. There you go. That is this is a mouthful. Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, the original Marvel years, Droids and Ewoks. That's what it's called. Like Curtis, have you tried the DC compendiums? Like a mix between omnibus and epics. Amount of the omni issues, but still floppy size, a nice sweet spot. Well, personally, I don't. I think they're still a little too big. I have the Sweet Tooth compendium. And I read it, and I thought it was just a little bit too big. If you're gonna have this many pages, it kind of does need to be hardcover because you get some massive gutter loss. Some of the stuff, the gutter in the middle here is just a little ridiculous. You have to kind of bend it wide open. But I was impressed by the binding because it does lay pretty flat open. Of course, that's because they're using really thin pages. If they use thicker pages, then they wouldn't flop down as easy. So, but I still think that my sweet spot is still 500 pages. This one is 900 pages, I believe. And the DC Finest are going to be about 600 pages. So I think that's perfect for me right there. Do you think they'll print more Aliens and Predators epics? I think that we will definitely see them continue the Aliens line. I don't know where they stand with the Predator. I know they did the Omnis, but I don't know if they're going to bring that to epics. I hope so. I'm really interested in reading that stuff. Oh, Dying Breed Collectors. What I miss? You only missed this one right here. Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, the original Marvel Years Droids and Ewoks. The very last Star Wars Epic Collection. Have the Blackthorn publishing 3D Star Wars comics from the late 80s been printed anywhere? Yes, they are in, I believe, Rebellion Volume 1 or 2. I can't remember, but they are there. They're not in 3D. They only printed one color, so that's all. So you don't need the glasses to read it, but they are included. Okay. Next up, Avengers. Avengers Epic Collection Volume 13, Seasons of the Witch. Announcing a new roster of Avengers with Star Fox, Captain Marvel, and then some of these old regular guys over here. Uh, dude, Curtis, there's a Blade Epic in January. Are there more Blade Epics? No, that is the only one that's coming so far. We haven't had an announcement on Volume 2 yet. Seasons of the Witch. There's Captain America on the spine. And this is, of course, the Trial of Yellow Jacket era of when Yellow Jacket kind of becomes one of the villains of the team here. This is Roger Stern, Mark Grunwald, Al Milgrom, and John Byrne. There's a good lineup of creators there. Seasons of the Witch. So let's see here. Amazing Spider-Man Annual 16 is the thing that launches this. Then it goes through a bunch of Avengers annuals. There's a Fantastic Four issue, a Doctor Strange issue, and an excerpt from Fantastic Four 257, and then also the Hawkeye miniseries. That's a lot of stuff there. So let's take a look. Let's see what's the. Oh, of course. First appearance of the new Captain Marvel. That's why they're including this Amazing Spider Man annual. This is Monica Rambeau, of course, as Captain Marvel. And Spider Man. Oh, here's the Avengers. Now we're into an Avengers issue. This is stuff that, of course, has already gone through the. They were in thick trades before, and I believe the stuff has already gone through the Masterworks program, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Great stuff. Look at the framing in this one with this guy with the megaphone. That's fantastic. This is I have only read a few issues from this era, but it's a lot of fun. Very classic. I love Roger Stern. I think he's a great writer. And this era of Avengers, while it looks a little bit different from the team, it's still got some great personalities that create great interpersonal drama. Roger Stern, such a good run. Yes, that's right. Hi, Timothy. Nice to see ya. I wanted to buy West Coast Avengers Epic, but the first one is out of print. Can I just start from the second one? Um, yes, you can. I mean, Roger, Steve Englehart does like to play a lot with continuity, so there are continuing plot threads and such. But um, if you want to start just from the second volume, you'll pick up what's going on really quick. It won't be a problem. Let's see, where's that Fantastic Four issue? There's Star Fox and the Avengers Annual. Great splash page. Look at that. Very nice. It's all of them standing around. And we have the Inhumans. Really great. Love this cover. I always have loved this cover. Just with the stark plain white in there. Very cool. And here's why John Byrne gets a credit on the cover because he is doing everything, pretty much everything for this issue of Fantastic Four. I cannot wait for the Byrne era to come to Epic Collections. I've been wanting to reread that for quite a while, and I've been putting it off and putting it off, saying, "Ah, the Epic will come." And we're getting close with the Fantastic Four epics, but it's probably still a little ways out. I think those trade paperbacks, Trial of Yellow Jacket and Absolute Vision, were jumbled a bit with the mapping of Amazing Annual 16. I believe the epic fixes that. Interesting. That's good to know. Here's the Doctor Strange issue. I believe this not only has a couple of Avengers in it, but it has something to do with the Book of the Darkhold, which continues from the pages of Avengers. There was a Darkhold um, trade paperback that collected that issue and about some of these Avengers issues as well. Avengers get a new logo, I think. Is that or is that the same logo that they had just as? Oh no, other logo, new logo. Guest starring Spider-Man. Remember when it was unthinkable that Spider-Man would actually be an Avenger? What? He's an Avenger? Now he's like always an Avenger. Well, not always an Avenger, but he uh he does join on a very regular basis. Project Pegasus. Al Milgrom with Joe Sinnott inking, and I'm not always a huge fan of Al Milgrom's artwork. Sometimes because he rushed a lot, um, it looked a little sloppy. But you give Joe Sinnott the task of inking him, and it's just fantastic. Hawkeye, the Hawkeye miniseries is here. This is not the same as in the West Coast Avengers book because that one is just the West Coast Avengers annual, not the Hawkeye annual. I mean miniseries. Really nice art in this one too. Oh yeah, what do we have in the way of bonuses? Some house ads. Art Grunwald drew that one. That's kind of cool. Marvel Age promoting Hawkeye. Hawkeye trade paperback introduction by Mark Grunwald. Hawkeye trade paperback original cover. Not much Avengers stuff here. Official handbook of the Marvel Universe Avengers profile, so you can see all of the main team, and I guess people who are on reserve. Those look like John Byrne faces. Avengers Mansion layout. That's always cool. I love it when this kind of stuff shows up in annuals and stuff. I always used to try and track the characters through the building. Um, Original art, and there you go. Old trade paperback covers as well. So that is Avengers Volume 13. That is 13 volumes in a row from 1 to 13. Um, Takes us all the way from 1963 all the way to 1983. 20 years of Avengers, of consecutive Avengers, now collected in Epic Collections. And so this is volume 13. We're missing 14 and 15, and then it links up with volume 16, which we already have, Under Siege. Just two more volumes till we link it up. And that will get us all the way to volume 26. We'll have a complete run of Avengers 1 through 26 once we get those two last volumes. And that is pretty amazing. Not yet. They skipped 12. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. I'm forgetting that they did those out of order. 12 is coming in the new year. So you're right. Um, I guess I've counted them because they've already announced it. But yes, for some reason, they decided to skip over volume 12, do this one instead, volume 13, and 12 is coming in 2025. Which month is that coming? I'll tell you in just a second. May. Volume 12 is coming in May. That mansion layout reminds me of G.I. Joe, the G.I. Joe pit layout from Larry Hama in G.I. Joe issue 1. Yes, that's right. And in the Fantastic Four 30th anniversary issue, which one was that? I can't remember what number. Um, but it had a layout of the Four Freedoms Plaza, and I loved that thing. I thought it was great. When John Buscema teams up with Roger Stern in Avengers, it eventually it is golden. Yeah, you're right. That's the Under Siege and Judgment Day volumes, and they are really, really great. Those volumes are some of the best. What's your favorite Steve Englehart story? I love his Malibu comics. Um, I really like I really like his Silver Surfer. I think his Silver Surfer is really good. Um, his Fantastic Four has moments. Overall, it's kind of weird. He did a story for Eclipse Comics called Coyote, for Epic Comics, actually, Marvel Epic, called Coyote, and that's a lot of fun. Very interesting, very different. Anyway, I've got another box, so we will be able to take a look at another Epic collection. This one is Spider Girl Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 5. It's called Keeping the Faith. And it looks like Mayday has a black costume. So I've read Volume 1. Can I skip ahead to Volume 5? Is this a series? I need to know. Is this a series where anybody can jump in at any time and pick it up? Or do I need to read them in sequential order? Because I have Volume 2, like of the complete collections, but I don't have Volume 3 and Volume 4. So I won't get very far. But I kind of want to read this right away. This is collecting issues 68 to 84. So it doesn't quite get us to the end of the series. So there will be another volume after this, and then after this, after that volume, there's probably even more volumes because Spider Girl gets a couple of new series under a couple different names, like Amazing Spider Girl. This series is great from what I've read. The first epic is really quite well done. Good story, good characters. It feels classic. Um, I wish that they had included the Buzz miniseries in the mapping of these. Maybe they will. I don't know, but this is an Elseworlds title, sort of. It's spun out of a what if issue. What if Peter Parker and Mary Jane's baby had lived, basically, because um, in the Clone Saga era, Mary Jane is pregnant and they lose the baby. But this what if the baby survives and eventually they discover that she's inherited spider powers and she becomes Spider Girl. And that issue was so popular that they spun off not just her own series, a regular ongoing series, but created a whole universe around her. And there were a few other extra um, books like A Next, which was like a new generation of Avengers, J2, which is the son of Juggernaut, Fantastic Five, which was led by an adult Franklin Richards. So yeah, this artwork is all Pat Olaf and Ron Friends. They do a lot of work together, and written by Tom DeFalco. I'm pretty sure they do every issue here. Let me just double check. Um, yeah, Ron Friends does all the issues but three. Pat Olaf does those three other issues, and that's it. Um, some digital coloring from Udon Studios and another studio called Gotham. That's a Sal Buscema worthy pose right there, punching the villain backwards. In fact, I think Sal Buscema looks like he's inking a lot of these issues as well. There you go. Okay, it's funny. Spider Girl is a modern epic, but Ultimate Spider Man is classic. So I'm going to correct you there. We all thought it was classic, but apparently it is actually, whoops, on this side, it is an Ultimate Epic Collection. It is not classic. It is not modern. It is Marvel Ultimate Epic Collection. That's something that we just found out very recently, like earlier this week. Curtis, seeing all your books behind you and knowing your love for the art form, what is your plan for more space? My bookshelves are now almost full, unsure what to do. I had to buy myself a new bookshelf just this last week and make like a sideways one. So now I have kind of like an actual library that has like stacks that you can walk into. It's a little ridiculous. I am um, I'm fortunate enough to have a big basement, so I have room to spread out a little bit. But you're right. I have been figuring out what I need to cull and where I can make room. And that's the dance that all of us book collectors are that we get to play over and over again is what stays and what goes because eventually space becomes an issue. Tom DeFalco should get a Dark Devil solo series. Loved that character. Yeah, very cool. Squadron Supreme has only been collected in Omnis and a thick trade. It has had a thick trade as well. Been really looking forward to this Avengers epic, but I'll probably wait to read it until after getting the court-martialed epic next year and read them in order. That makes sense. I'm not sure why they did them out of order. It, I don't know if there was like some sort of other Omni or Masterwork or whatever, and they didn't want to double up on the having the same content in the shelves. Very strange, but I'll probably do that too. It is uncanny that all the runs when I was reading comics in the mid 80s were saved for last. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that was planned. One, the 80s was kind of a high point for Marvel. All of those runs that happened kind of at the same time are all fan favorites. They are all ones that are highly regarded. And and so Marvel was kind of firing on all cylinders at the time. And so yeah, do they want to get all of that best stuff out first and then leave like the less desirable volumes for last. No, they're not going to do that. In order to keep people buying and keep people anticipating, they're saving. They're literally saving the best for last. Maybe not literally, because everybody has their own opinions on what is the best. Yes. You just moved, no bookshelves. Your omnibuses are in piles and your other comics are in I feel you, man. I feel you. That is difficult. But if you can get some bookshelves, that's the fun part, is setting them up for the first time. You should do an updated room tour. You know, at some point maybe I will. I'm not quite at the point where I feel like it's organized enough for me to do that yet, but maybe I will do that in the future. Oh, and you said, "Are you getting the GI Joe compendium?" Um, I might, yes, because I am. I do like Larry Hama, and I like to collect all the Marvel stuff. So, uh, man, there's just too much stuff to get between like these series that I'm collecting, like Uncle Scrooge and Donald Duck, and I'm not even up to date on that one. The EC comics up above here, and DC Finest now coming out. It's just, it's just too much. I have to get more space, I guess. Another job. I think you all understand my pain. Because you have that pain too. Pain of the book collectors. So these are the three epics we talked about today. Spider Girl, Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 5, Keeping the Faith. Did I show you the back cover? That's the back cover. Star Wars, Star Wars Legends Epic Collection, the original Marvel years, Droids and Ewoks. Avengers Epic Collection Volume 13, Seasons of the Witch. Here are all of them all side by side. So we have a classic, a Star Wars, and a modern, all back to back coming out. This is the last time that that's going to happen because this is the last Star Wars book. So that's pretty cool. Okay, everybody, I want you to take a second and just hit the like button. I appreciate all of you joining me this evening for this look at these new Epic collections. It's been a great time. Um, I definitely hit the like button, hit the subscribe button too if you are inclined to do that kind of thing. And um, yeah, next week I'll be back with another live stream, and according to my calendar, we should be looking at Thor Volume 10, the Eternals saga. Um, and Darth Vader Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1. So those will be the two that we'll see next time. I heard a rumor that you're going to be on the OmniDog live stream this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that's true. I'm going to be on OmniDog's live stream. Very excited about that. I've never been on his live stream before, so I'm looking forward to being a part of that. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out with me. And don't forget to check me out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Discord, on TikTok, and all that stuff. And I have some DC Finest channels. If you look up the Finest DC channel on social media, you'll be able to find me there too with just a little bit of DC content. I haven't really jumped into heavy with that stuff yet. Hopefully, maybe I will when the books start coming. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a great evening and happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you. See you later.